to lovers of all things retro. Introducing the NES30 Classic Edition set controller by 8Bitdo. This lovely little marvel is actually a replica of the original NES controller without any wires. Yes, you heard me correctly, without any wires. This is a wireless Bluetooth game pad that looks very much like our good old friend the NES controller. Now, there are a couple of additional features to this controller, which we're going to look at in a second, which the original didn't have. One obviously being it's wireless and it's Bluetooth. But as you can see here, it's a very nice looking device. And you know, if you have that nostalgic bone in your body for NES gaming from back in the late 80s and 90s, I think you may want to watch this video. So let's take this out the box. There she is. Isn't she a thing of beauty? Oh, look at that. Looks like the real thing, huh? Without the wire sticking out. As you can see here, you have your D-pad, and it feels exactly like the original NES controller's gamepad from back in the day. You have your nice springy big red buttons with your A and B and X and Y. Start button, select. Same rubberized buttons just like on the original controller. At the top here we have some LEDs. So this one, it flashes blue when it's looking to pair with the device. Now to put this in pairing mode, you just hold down the start button for 3 seconds and this actually flashes, right? And then you can pair with your tablet or your laptop or whatever, right? It's cool. Now at the top here we can see we have 2 shoulder buttons. That's something that you didn't see, of course, on your original controller, because back then, you know, shoulder buttons wasn't invented yet. it was just this, right? But for modern day gaming, shoulder buttons are a must, so that's why they've added them here. It would have been ideal to have 2 shoulder buttons on each side, but you know what? Considering they're going to be playing mainly a lot of retro games with this thing, and you know, some simple Android games, no, this should be enough. Yeah, so that's pretty good. Now, there's a little compartment here, and it has a picture of the dongle, and it looks like you know, one of those original NES cartridges. But what it actually is, this dongle comes with a little cable here, and it's a USB plug on one side, has a mini USB port on the other here, plug on the other side, and this mini looking NES cartridge thing is actually a dongle, and of course you press this red button here to pair it. So of course you plug this into your device. Now this actually, if you're familiar, if you're one of the lucky souls that was able to get one of the NES Classics, one of those miniaturized versions of the original NES system, they came out around Christmas last year in 2016. And they sold like hotcakes. Nintendo's not making anymore, so they're like a hot item now. You can still get them. I mean, if you got like $300 to blow, I'm sure you can get it on eBay. But anyway, if you do have the NES Classic, again the miniaturized version of the original NES, you can connect this right into it, and you can play your NES Classic using these controllers. Now, one of the problems with the NES Classic is it's a nice little mini retro gaming system, but the cable between the controller and the NES Classic is very short. So this is an answer to any of you guys who have that, you know, answer to your prayer, like, hey, here's a wireless version of the controller. It looks just like the real thing, and I'm not constrained by any wires or any short wires. So this is perfect for the NES Classic again. Just say that one more time. But you know, if you don't have an NES Classic, you can still get this because it works. It's a Bluetooth gamepad, right? So it works on Android, Windows, iOS. It works on all those platforms. And what's good about this little adapter here is that this dongle, in addition to working with the NES Classic, this is actually going to make this well, not this. It actually makes, let me just move this aside for a second. because you have this now, PS4 controllers, PS3 controllers, and I believe there are some other controllers here. Let's see. Yeah, PS3, PS4. If you have the Wiimote or the Wii U Pro controller, in addition to the PS4 and PS3 controllers, through this you can actually use any of these game controllers on your your PC or any device that you have this connected into, right? Now you must be wondering how you actually use this to connect these controllers to your device when you have this NES Classic port here on the end, right? Because PCs, whatever, they don't have this kind of port. That's where this mini USB little plug on the side comes in, and this little adapter. You just simply plug the mini USB end into the little dongle, and now you, instead of using this, you have our good old friendly USB port. And any PlayStation owner knows that on the front of your PS3 and PS4 you have USB ports. So just pretty much plug this in, and then you compare your console So in order to use your controllers, your PlayStation controllers as an example, with your PC or whatever, using this dongle, of course you cannot use, you cannot plug this into your PC, right, for example, because your PC doesn't have this port. This is for the NES Classic. But that is where this mini USB port on the side of the dongle comes in. You just take this little adapter that comes with it, plug it in here, and now you don't need to use this because you have this common USB 2.0 connection that you can then plug into your PC as an example, and then you can, and through this you can then pair with your PlayStation controllers, and then you can actually use them on your PC, right? So that's that's what that little adapter is for, right? Now it did come with a piece of paper, and on it shows you the controller and what the buttons do. Pretty self-explanatory. 8Bitdo NES30 Classic Edition set. Play your NES Classic Edition wirelessly using this dongle here. So that little red thing I said on there, they say it's a pairing button, which is this little red thing. And then it shows you the controller, and yes, ABXY buttons. And it tells you here if you need to reset, if you need to have that reset button functionality on your NES Classic Edition, you hold the down button and the select buttons at the same time, and then you can reset your NES system. Of course, to power on the controller, you hold the start button down for 3 seconds, right? Because it doesn't have an actual power button on it. So you just press and hold down the start button to turn it on. And let's see. Oh, so these top buttons here that do serve as good shoulder buttons. They actually are by default are the Turbo A and Turbo B buttons, right, on your controller. And it says here, there's a little some fine print. It says, please power off your NES Classic Edition before inserting a retro receiver. So simple instructions. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Again, the NES30 Classic Edition set. And yes, because it's a Bluetooth controller, you can use it on pretty much any of the popular platforms today, i.e. Windows, Android, iOS. They all work. And yeah, it's a really cool system. And yeah, I definitely, when I saw this, I got one for myself, and I'm thinking I'm gonna get a second one, just so that I can have, you know, two players playing, getting that real old school feel. So as I always say, check the link below this video if you're interested in learning more about these products, and especially if you actually want to buy these online, check the link below. And I hope you enjoy, and happy gaming, guys. This is Richie signing off. Hey everybody, so I hope you enjoyed that video. Now I'm going to ask you to do two things before you leave. One, there's a button right up here on the screen to my right here. Click on that, and that will take you to our website, www.redtechbot.com. When you get on that site, there will be a button there where you can actually sign up for our newsletter. And when you do sign up for our newsletter by entering in your email address, you will automatically be entered into all of our tech giveaways. And by tech giveaways, these are some typical examples of what we will be giving away, and these are some examples. There's other stuff as well. And the good news is, you just have to enter your email address once, and it will automatically be entered into the pool every time we do a draw. And we will use that email address, of course, to contact the winner, to tell them, hey, you've won something, and it's really cool. And of course, the newsletter will have updates on tech reviews, what's coming up new, what's coming up next, new stuff in the industry, and even information on future giveaways, right? So it's really nice newsletter that we're going to be sending out. And one other thing is, on this side on the screen here, up here on my left, you click on that and you will subscribe to the channel. Now by subscribing, of course, you will be at the forefront of any new things that are happening, any new videos that are coming out. And what I will also be doing is I'll be doing videos where I'll be talking about what we're going to be doing as a next giveaway, right? So you want to be subscribed, tuned in to that as well. So it's going to be a fun year and fun years to come as well. So yeah, that being said, you guys have a great day.